We will begin with a prayer of invocation. Om Om Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanshcha Prahinoti Tasmai Tamha Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamshrishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahitaha Prajnana Ghanaha Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. वेदांतार्थ विभासकाय गुरवे शांताय सन्यासिने नानावादी नगेन्द्र संघपवये योगीन्द्र वन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्त दिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततम् पूर्णाय बोधात्मने. Bhagavan Gaudapadacharya, the grand guru of Bhagavan Shankaracharya, in his work called as the Mandukya Karika, has a very important thing to say. Of course, it is the work of Advaita Vedanta, but it does not ignore the art of sadhana. So here, Gaudapadacharya says, Manaso nigrahayatam abhayam sarvayoginam dukkakshaya prabodhaschapyakshaya shantirevacha. He says, it is from the nigraha of the mind, it is from the mastery over the mind that the yogis will have fourfold fruit. Ayatam kim ayatam. Abhayam, first of all, it will, by mastering the mind, bringing it under control, what happens is abhayam. There is freedom from insecurity. Fear means do not think that a person is shivering and shaking and wearing. But fear in general also means the insecurity. So therefore, manaso nigrahayatam abhayam sarvayoginam. First phalam is abhayam. Dukkakshaya prabodhascha. Then the second one is dukkakshaya. Okay. A gradual disappearance, destruction, deterioration of dukkha. Because we carry a lot of memories of dukkha. And also, obviously, one kind of dukkham is the dukkham which we are afraid that it may come in future. So that already is spoken of as abhayam, as its opposite as abhayam. Then there is, there are regrets, there are guilts, there are remorses, so on and so forth. That also goes away. Dukkha kshayaha, but don't think that it will happen overnight. It is kshaya. Kshaya means it is gradual. As much as the mastery over the mind is gained, dukkha kshaya becomes intense. So dukkha kshayaha prabodhascha, also enlightenment, prabodha. That means the knowledge about the self. becomes well rooted, firm. Prabodhascha api akshaya shantirevacha, and also shanti, the peace descends. And how, what is the nature of this peace? Akshaya shanti, that peace which cannot be destroyed. Api akshaya shantirevacha. Now these are the fourfold fruits that Bhagavan Gaudapada says comes with mastery over the mind. Now we can understand what is the importance of this topic. Right? So you want abhayam, you want dukkha huh? One wants enlightenment, prabodha, and also akshaya shanti. This is what is desired. And if you are going to desire this, then you are aspiring to be a yogi. Then if this is the case, then we should also know its upaya. Upaya means the means to master the mind. You simply mentioning it is not going to suffice. We need to have the upaya also. Sir, that's all okay. But you do not know the type of mind that I have. It is rebellious, it is adamant, and I have a special type of mind which is difficult. And so, if this is your problem, then your problem is not unique, but your problem has been voiced by Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. And so Kunti Putra Arjuna says, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramadhi balavadradham tasyaham nigraham manye vayo rivasudushkaram. Hey Krishna, hey Krishna, chanchalam hi manaha. He means definitely, indeed, this mana is chanchalam. It slips away even before you notice. Chanchalam, it is so fickle that it slips away even before one can really notice. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. And not only it is chanchalam, but it is pramathi. Mathanam means churning, and pramadhi means that it churns your heart completely. Acha, then you may say that, okay, zabardasti, force it to keep quiet. So over there it is said, balavadradham, it is balavad. I find that I am helpless in front of this mind. It is balavan. Then you can always plead. Though it is balavan, it is also dridham. It has decided that I'm going to disturb this fellow. So, tasyaham nigraham manye. So with chanchalatvam, pramathitvam, balavatvam, and dridhatvam, with these four qualities, the expertise that this mind has. Now, how then are you going to do the manonigraha? How will you master it? How will you control it? Tasyaham nigraham manye. So Arjuna says, hey Krishna, tasya manasaha nigraham aham manye. This is what I believe. What do you believe? Vayo rivasudushkaram. It is as difficult as the Vayu. You know, in the superpowers also in America, all the cyclones are coming, hurricane, and they can do nothing except they tell people, you stay safe. You stay safe. Hide somewhere and stay safe. Otherwise, those things will carry even the cars and everything in that, in its vortex. So now, Vayoriva Sudushkaram. What can we do about it? Hey Krishna, iti tadvachanam. So now, sir, this is what, and even Bhagavan also has agreed. And Bhagavan says, ah, asamshayam. Definitely it is like this. So now, and therefore, for a spiritual aspirant, what does he see? That there is all whatever Bhagavad Pada has said or Gaudapada Bhagavan has said is meant for somebody else, definitely not for. So, not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea, the person is going to say. So here, now over here, then Vidyaranya Swami has a comment to add. And he says, Iti tad vachanam hatha yoga vishayam. Hey, don't worry. When Arjuna is saying, giving this difficulty, that his problem, because he sees that this mind cannot be mastered through the means that are available with you. What are those? Hatha yoga. We are going to say hatha yoga. What is that hatha yoga? And what are the means to master the mind? Because without the mastery, these four things are impossible. And this is what you truly want. And this is what we can call a spiritual attainment. Abhayam, dukkhakshayaha, prabodhaha, akshaya, shanti. These are the four things which we want. Atha tadvachanam hatayoga vishayam ataha Valmikiraha. And therefore, Valmiki ji says this, Upavishye kachittakena muhurmuhu na shakyate manojetum vina yuktim aninditam. Even if the person day after day employs himself very sincerely in wanting to master the mind, but it will not be possible without the right, flawless upaya. Yuktim aninditam. How should the yukti be? Yukti means the method. How should that method be? Aninditam means it should be flawless, without any defect, defectless. Okay. मनोविलय हेतूनां युक्तीनां सम्यगीरणं वसिष्ठेन कृतं तावत् तन्निष्ठस्य वशे मनः. Valmiki ji admits, he says, manovilaya hetunam, those causes by which the mind is dissolved, manovilaya hetunam. And what are those hetus? Yuktinam, these are the methods, upayas, through which the mind is mastered and also dissolved. Okay, samyagirinam, its proper explanation is given by Vasishtha Bhagavan, and tavattanishthasya vashe manaha, and those who are committed to these practices. Now in their life, what happens? The mind definitely is mastered. And therefore, do not be disappointed by saying, oh, Arjuna's question is my problem. Because Arjuna has got certain means, and by those means, mind cannot be mastered. So you require a method, or those methods. How are those? Anindita yukti. We require that. So here further we go. Hathato yuktitaschapi. Now he comes to the, how was it, what do they call? In the Yoga Vasishtha. Hathato yuktitaschapi dvividho nigraho mataha nigraho dhikriya kshanam hatho golaka nigraha. Now there are two there are two ways of the nigraha. Nigraha means control. Okay. How are you going to control? There are these two ways. One is called as the hatha nigraha, and the other one is called as the krama nigraha or yukti. Hathato yuktitaschapi. You remember in our childhood, we were told a story of the crow who saw, who was very thirsty, and he saw a pitcher of water where the neck of the pitcher was long, but there was water at the bottom of that pitcher. And the beak of the crow could not reach where the water was. Now, what would that crow do? And I'm telling you, crows are intelligent like that. It is just not in a story. It is indeed crows are intelligent. You know, in one of the ashrams that I used to live when I was studying, I still study, not that I have stopped. So, so in that ashram, what happened was there was one tap in front of our room that I used to find that it was perpetually open every afternoon. So even if I went, I closed the tap and came after a little while, the tap was open. Then one day I stood over there to see what was it. And one crow used to open the tap to drink water. Now the crow understood not only that water comes through the tap, but he had understood that you have to open the tap, and he also knew how to open the tap. So you see, so there is just not in stories, parables that you have this crow. So that crow, then he started putting pebbles in the pitcher, and the water level rose, and it was able to drink the water, quench its thirst. So that crow had a yukti. What did he have? Yukti. Like that, we also require a yukti in order to master the mind. This is the yukti. Method. Intelligent method, way of functioning. And so there are these two. One is called as hatha nigraha, and the other one is called yukti taha. Dvividho nigraho mataha. Now, do not underestimate the hatha nigraha. So it has to be put to use where it has to be put to use. Okay. So here it is. Nigraho dhi kriya kshanam. Now the nigraha of the karmendriyas as well as the jnanendriyas will be attained through hatha nigraha. Okay. The nigraha of the indriyas is done. Okay. Hatho golaka nigrahat. Then kadachid jayate kaschid manastena viliyate. Now that upaya by which the mind is brought under control, by which the mind is tamed, is what? Yukti. It will be called even as krama nigraha, we will see. And it has got kadachid jayate kaschid manastena viliyate. Now that by which the mind is dissolved. What is that upaya? Adhyatma vidyadhikamaha sadhu sangama evacha vasana samparityaga pranaspanda nirodhanam etastu yuktaya pushpaha santi chitta jale khila. And Vasishtha Maharaj says there are these four upayas. Upaya means, now you understand, sadhana, the means to it. First of all, it is Adhyatma Vidya Adhigamaha. To understand the spiritual knowledge, to gain the spiritual knowledge. So, Adhyatma Vidya Adhigamaha first. The second one is Sadhu Sangamaha. Satsanga with the sadhu. Sadhu Sangamaha. The third one is Vasana Samparityagaha, giving up those vasanas, which now are going to be an impediment in your path of enlightenment, in the path of liberation. And so, therefore, vasana samparityagaha. And the fourth one is called as prana spanda nirodhanam. Spanda means the movement, andolanam. Prana spanda nirodhanam, to suspend the movement of the breath. These are the four methods through which the chitta can be brought under control. Nigrahodvividhaha. Hatha nigraha, krama nigrahascha. The nigraha is of two kinds. Dvividhaha. Vidha means prakara. Kinds, types. One is called as the Hatha Nigraha, whereas the other one is called as the Krama Nigraha. Tatra Chakshu Shrotradi Jnanendriyanam Vak Panyadi Karmendriyani Cha Tattat Golaka Uparodha Matrena Hathat Nigrahyante. Now, we all have to appreciate one thing. Now, when we are going to say organs of perception and organs of action, what do we understand generally is that these organs are the parts of the physical body. But that's not true. This is not how the Upanishad looks at it. Because the Indriyas are the part of the Sukshma Deha, not of the Sthula Deha. Remember this. Okay? Then what are these? These balls of flesh and, this particular what do they call, structures that we have, whether it is the indriyas, jnanendriyas, or the karmendriyas. These are the special structures. Now, the indriyas, which are the part of the sukshma deha, they come into their respective places to function. The chakshur indriya will be able to function from the eyeballs. Okay? But eyeballs is not the chakshur indriya. But now over here, when we are saying hatha nigraha, what are you going to control? Indriyas, which means it is a part of the sukshma deha, a subtle body. But how will it be controlled? By controlling these physical organs, physical parts. Correct? So that's why it is called as hatha nigraha. Karmendriyani tattat golaka uparodha matrena hathan nigrahyante. Let us say you don't want to hear some shabda. What will you do? You will push some cotton, this thing in the ears. And plug it. Where is shabda I am not hearing. I was somewhere in Europe, and that person there gave me, some silicone thing. Swamiji, put this at night. I said, night, why? In India, you have a lot of dogs barking outside. I said, they don't wake me up. So, what is there? He says that I said we can use it for meditation. Soundproof, no sound entering. So now by that, what have you controlled? You have controlled the Shravanendriya, but through the Golaka. So this is how Hatha Nigraha takes place. And Hatha Nigraha is useful in bringing the control over the Indriyas, but it cannot bring the control of mind. Okay? No. Why it will not? Because the golaka of mind is heart, your actual heart. Physical heart, you can say. How are you going to block it? Or how are you going to hold it? Huh? Not possible. And therefore, those who are thinking that it is through the Hatha Nigraha that we will bring the mind under control are living a fantasy. Okay, they are in a utopian world, and that's why what do we require is Krama Nigraha. Okay, Acha. Now, what is that Krama Nigraha? Ataha Krama Nigraha eva yogya. Then what is yogya for bringing the mind under control or mastering the mind? Only Krama Nigraha. Yukti. How is that? You understand. Krama Nigrahe cha adhyatma vidya praptyadaya eva upayaha. Now there are these 4 upayas which Vasishtha Maharaj has said belong to the Krama Nigraha. Adhyatma Vidya Adhigama. I hope everybody please note it down so that you know you will always, this will always stay with you. Adhyatma Vidya Adhigamaha, Sadhu Sangamaha, then Vasana Samparityaga and Pranaspanda Nirodhanam. Okay, now we have these. Now he is going to explain you all these 4 in brief. How? Sacha Vidya. Now the Adhyatma Vidya means what? Spiritual knowledge. What do you mean by spiritual knowledge? Oh, Swamiji, spiritual knowledge means where we see spirits. And no. All these things is not admitted. And Vasishtha Maharaj does not see this. Very spiritual. He is able to see aura. Must be some other part of this, but it doesn't set in the scheme of Vasishtha Maharaj at least. Vyas, Vasishtha, it doesn't come into their scheme. And so here he says, Sacha Vidya Drishyamithyatvam Drigvastunaha Swaprakashatvam cha bodhayati. What is called as Adhyatma Vidya by these teachers? Now, those who are better than Vasishtha Maharaj, they will have some different definitions, but we will follow Vasishtha only for our betterment. So at least you are safe. You see? And those who have got some other things to say, and there are Swayambhu Gurus hovering around. We don't want them. So now here he says, Sacha Vidya Drishya Mithyatvam. If you have really understood the spiritual knowledge or the instruction, let us say, of Bhagavad Gita, your understanding will be very clear about these 2 things. One is Atma and the other one is Anatma. One is the Drishya Padartha, the other one is Drik Padartha, Drashta. Okay? So what are those 2 Padarthas? The Drishya and the Drashta. Other than these 2, what else is there? Every experience is composed only of these 2. And so, about the Drishya, what is your understanding? Mithya eva. And what is the understanding about this Drik Padartha? Swaprakasha Paripurnaha. How is this Drik Padartha? Drashta? Swaprakasha. It is like that. Tathacha Sati, this being the case now, what happens is, Manaha Swagochareshu Drishyeshu Prayojanabhavam Prayojanamati Drigvastuni Agocharatvam Chubudva. Now this mind is able to understand the nature of the Drishya and Drashta. What is it that the mind is looking for? Sukham. And it has understood that Sukham is real. Sukham does not belong to Drishya, but Sukham belongs to Drashta. That is the nature of the Drashta. So now, the mind which was running after the Drishya Padarthas was running only because it thought that this drishya padartha in form of stri, putra, dhanadi, all these things is the cause and source of sukham. But now it is understood that no, the moment you understand that something is not the source of sukham, you are disinterested. Okay? How long your interest in any object will continue? As long as it appears to be the source of sukham. The moment you see that it is insipid, you withdraw. It is gone. Okay. So therefore, what happens is that drishya vastu, now that where the mind can go is useless. The drashta padartha, the mind has no entry over there. And therefore, what is the point of this mind now? It says, I'm unemployed. What will I do? So, prayojana bhavam prayojanavati drigvastuni agocharatvam chupudva nirindhana agnivat swayameva upashamyati. Now it gets extinguished like the nirindhana agni. Nirindhana agni, indhana means fuel. Nirindhana means that fuel whose, that fire whose indhana, fuel is exhausted. What happens when that kashta, the wood, the stick, or whatever it is, burnt? Agni gets extinguished by itself, isn't it? Like that, with this Adhyatma Vidya Adhigamaha, this is what should happen. If you claim that you have spiritual knowledge, then your mind should naturally become calm. It should give up. Okay. Nirindhana agnivat swayameva upashamyati tatha cha shruyate. So Maitrayani Upanishad says, yatha nirindhano vannihi swayo nao upashamyati tatha vritti kshaya chittam swayo nao upashamyati. Just as that Agni goes back to its own source when the fuel is exhausted, so also this mind goes back into its own source because there is no movement for the mind. Where it can move, it is useless. Where it really, whatever it can give, it has got no entry. So now what is the use? And therefore upashamyati becomes shanta, like the Nirindhana Agni. So this is Maitrayani Upanishad saying. So that's why the first upaya, what is the first upaya? To calm down the mind is, master the mind is Adhyatma Vidya Adhigamaha. Okay. Understand. So Adhyatma Vidya is not because I feel nice. You're feeling nice because in that room the AC is on. You see, once Swami Dayananda Maharaj, Dayananda Saraswati, in Rishikesh, Swami used to live in Coimbatore also. And he had a lot of disciples in all South India and everywhere. So one day he was saying, somewhere in Chennai where it is very hot, one mama used to come and sit for the lecture. And this mama could not understand one word of English. And Swamiji used to speak in English, right? Not one word of English. But he was the first one to come and sit in the hall and the last one to leave. So Swamiji asked him, hey, mama, you don't understand. Why are you? Swamiji, because the AC is there. It's very hot outside. Adhyatma Vidya Adhigamaha. It is not because it feels nice. No, feels nice is okay. But what should you look for is that conclusive understanding. When that understanding becomes clear about Drigvastu and also Drishyavastu, about both these padarthas, when the understanding becomes clear, its natural outcome will be swayameva upashamyati. That's why this is the first upaya. Okay. The second upaya is sadhu sangama. Why do we require sadhu sangama? Here he says, yastu bodhitamapi tattvam na samyak buddhite. Because there are these two types of people. One is those people who are not able to understand clearly even when explained. Okay. Even when, so that person is sincere. He comes, he sits, and he serves the teacher, and so he is sincere. But what happens is, samyak na buddhyate. He is not able to understand clearly because the vishaya is sukshma. Not nobody's fault, because the vishaya is sukshma. That's why. Sukshma means it is subtle. Okay. And so, bodhitamapi tattvam samyak na buddhyate. And even that what he has understood in little clarity also he forgets. Vismarati cha. That's why you say, na Swamiji, when we are sitting there, it is nice. But after we go out, what did you teach? And you ask me also, Swamiji, what did you teach today? Yascha vismarati. Now, when this is the case of the person in this samyak na buddhyate vismarati cha. This is the problem. Sadhu sangama is the upaya. Why sadhu sangama becomes upaya? Tayoho ubhayoho sadhu sangamaha eva upaya. Sadhavaha hi punaha punah bodhayanti smarayanti cha. Because those sadhus means, don't think Jatajut and everything is required. Okay. Sadhu means he who is even committed, dedicated to Adhyatma Vidya. He who is living it. He who is living it. So that sadhu, what will happen? What is there in him? His whole interest is only Adhyatma Vidya. And therefore, that person, what will be his topic of discussion? Atma and Anatma. That is all. And therefore, sadhava hi punah punah bodhayanti. Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes, mantranam jamita nasti. Okay, somebody says that, oh, this mantra, it is explaining the same thing which was said before. So this is what? Punaravritti. Punaravritti is saying same thing again and again. What punaravritti? In japa, etc., punaravritti is good. But what are you doing over here in explaining the same thing? Huh? Shankaracharya says, so what? Mantranam chamita nasti. The mantras have come over here, the Veda mantras, they don't have any laziness. They will keep saying that chamitana, a beautiful expression. Mantrahanam chamitana asti. So, samyak buddhyate vismarati. Sadhavo hi punah punah bodhayanti smarayanti cha. Now, what is the third upaya? Vasana samparityaga. Now, all your life, you can stay serve sadhu, and all that will be there is Adhyatma Charcha. Adhyatma Charcha. That's why Sri Krishna at the end of Bhagavad Gita also asks Arjuna, Are Arjuna, have you understood, or do you still have any samshaya? Do you have any doubt? And Arjuna says, now no more doubt. Smutir labdha, that I have gained it now. Yeah, but there is another type of person. How is he? Yastu vidyamadadi durvasanaya pidyamano na sadhun anuvartitum utsate. There is a guy who says that I am educated. Sadhu, I was uneducated people. I'm IS officer. This fellow is not even Baravi pass. He has become sadhu, living only on diksha. Huh? Now, what does he have is Vidya mother. What will he tell me? What will he tell me? Uh, but remember that what Ramana Maharshi can tell, all your IS officers put together also will never be able to tell. But Vidya mother, when there is Vidya mother, that person will say, what will I go and learn from him? These people don't even know how to wear proper clothes and sit. Huh? What is this? Clumsy fellow. So Vidya Madadi Durvasanaya Pidyamanaha. He is troubled by that mother, by that arrogance. But now he carries that arrogance as if it is his crown. But that crown is a crown of thorns. Yeshu Krishna. And then Pidyamana Sadhun Anuvartitum na utsate. He is not interested in doing any sadhu sangama. And therefore, for him, now there is Kathin Marga, and that is he has to understand himself what are his doshas, what are his defects, and he has to work on giving it up. How many of us are really wanting to give up our defects? In fact, we justify our defects, isn't it? We carry those defects very, like how some injury is there, wound is there, and then the tincture iodine tincture is put. You don't want to put it. You want to keep it. Oh. Nowadays, you don't have this. In our childhood, during the summertime, we used to eat a lot of mangoes, and then those boils used to happen on our thighs and calf muscles. You remember? Nowadays, you don't see all that, right? Children have gone beyond it. And then there used to be one session of squeezing that out. There used to be one session where all that is squeezed. If you remember. And but then the child now he says, don't squeeze, it's okay. It will go by itself. Don't. He wants to keep it. He is Pidyamana, he is troubled by that, but he wants to keep it. Like that, we also protect our those doshas. Doshas means defects, we protect. And so it is difficult. This vasana samparityaga is difficult, but okay. But we will tell you one way in which even the vasana samparityaga can take place. And that is, there's a whole lot of discussion on this. But I'm giving you a small little tip, only a tip. And that is that what you are thinking is something great in you. Try to see it from another angle. Pratipaksha bhavana. See it as what? Pratipaksha bhavana. And so vasana parityaga becomes possible. Vasananam, but there are certain vasanas which are extremely prabala. How are they? Very powerful, prabala. No, you know what are its what do they call drawbacks, but still the person will be drawn into it, like a moth is drawn to the flame, into the fire. The moth, if you have seen, we used to have these kerosene lanterns that time. So at night, now we have inverters, so we don't have that. No, I don't think you get kerosene also to burn lamps. Those flies used to come, and even if it goes through and doesn't die, with those burnt wings and burnt legs, it will come back again and again, again and again. Like that is the case when the vasana is prabala. So prabala vasananam prabalyena tyaktum ashakyatve. Now it becomes impossible as if to give up those vasanas. Then what to do? You know it is you know all its defects and drawbacks, yet you can't. You are as if helpless in front of it. Prabalyena tyaktum ashakyatve. Pranaspanda nirodhanam becomes the upaya. Now comes the upaya called as pranaspanda dambudum, by controlling the movement of the pranas. By controlling the movement of the pranas. Pranaspanda nirodhanam upaya. Now, this pranaspanda is also shown by Vasishtha and the Upanishad, etc., as the bija from where the chitta vriksha comes out. This pranaspanda, the movement of breath, is the bija from where the chitta vriksha now comes out. Anger. Dve bije chitta vrikshasya वृत्तिव्रतधारिणः एकं प्राणपरिस्पन्दो द्वितीयं दृढवासना. Now this chitta vriksha has a bija, and it is a bija which is dichotomized. Okay, there are these two parts, like how we have in case of peas and grams and all. One is called as chitta, one is called as vasana, dridavasana, and the other one is called as prana parispanda. So now we understand that this prana parispanda is also the bija for the chitta to spread. Okay. Okay. So here, tayor nashopayam nashaphalanchaha. Now, what is the means through which this can be controlled? And also, what happens after even this, the chitta spanda is also destroyed or the mind is dissolved? What happens? So here he says, pranayam, first of all, upayas. In the first part of this shloka, we get the upayas. Pranayama dridabhyasaihi yuktya cha gurudattaya asanashana yogena pranaspando nirudhyate. Okay, now we are going to look at the pranaspanda nirodhana. Pranayama dridabhyasaihi. Through what? Through the committed practice of pranayama. So one has to learn it from an experienced teacher. Pranayama dridabhyasaihi yuktya cha gurudattaya. There are certain yuktis also, methods. But then asanashana yogena, then the yoga of asana and ashana, eating, etc. Pranaspando nirudhyate. So also with vasana parityaga, how now this is the second upaya, even for the other part, which is vasana parityaga. How Asangam vyavaharitvan bhavabhavana varshanad sharirana shadarshitvan vasanana pravartate. Now that Dridavasana and Pranaspanda are the causes of Chitta Vritti to or Chitta Vriksha to spread, to expand. Now over here, he says Asanga Vyavaharitvat. One should have Asanga Vyavahara. Unattached Vyavahara too. You have to perform. You have to act in this world. One must. But how should it be? Asanga Vyavahara. I'll give you an example. In my early days, I used to meet one great saintly person. He was a grihastha. He was a professor of philosophy, but he was actually like a saint because we have that parampara even of the grihastha jnanis. Okay? So he was like one of those. And so I used to go. He was 80, 85, whatever at that time. So all grandchildren and everybody in the house. And I used to go like this to meet him. One day when I went, he said to me, I am also a sannyasi. I said, how, Baba, you are a sannyasi? You are living in family, that you have a wife, you have children, you have grandchildren, and then the whole, everybody is talking. How you are a sannyasi? He told me that even though this house is mine, I live in this house as a guest, like a guest. Asanga Vyavahara. This is called as Asanga Vyavahara. So, Asanga Vyavaharitvad Bhavabhavana Varjanad. And also don't load your mind with living with worldly standards. Why? Worldly standards. Bhavabhavana Varjanad. The third thing is Sharira Nashadarshitvat. Now, look at that, even your body or that whatever you're desiring, everything is subject to gradual destruction. Sharira Nashadarshitvat Vasanana Pravartate. So keep these three as the cardinal things, and then you will find that in your life, these vasanas, what will happen to these vasanas? Will become kshina, weak. Not that tomorrow morning you wake up, where are the vasanas? Gone. Oh, Swami Abhishek Chaitanya, we heard all one. No, nothing. Then, Sharira Nasha Darshitvad Vasanana Pravartate. The vasana will not enter there. Okay. Vasana Samparityagat Chittam Gacchantya Chittatam Pranaspanda Nirodhacha Yathechasi Tatha Guru. Now over here, Vasishtha Maharaj says, look, Vasana Samparithyaga, it is when the Vasana is given up. When the Vasana is given up, and when the Pranaspanda Nirodha takes place, Chitta, the mind becomes no mind. Mind becomes, that's why don't mind, please. Becomes no mind. Chittam gachatya chittatam achittatam gachati. Okay? Etavan matrakam manye rupam chittasya raghava yad bhavanam vastunorantar vastutvena rasena cha. Hey Raghava or Rama, this is what I see as this mind. Okay? What will happen? Chittam gacchati achittatam. When when the vasana samparityaga takes place, and or pranaspanda nirodhana takes place. Yathechasi tatha kuru. Now, whatever you feel is possible for you, you yoke yourself over there. Okay? ये नहीं होता, ये नहीं होता, अब कुछ नहीं होता, ऐसे नहीं. What is possible to you, you do. In whatever matra it is possible. Oh, but how now? These all, they all sit in Himalayas for so many hours. Years they are sitting in one gufa. How will I sit now? You sit for 2 minutes. And you don't go to the Himalayan gufa. You sit in your house only. As much as is possible, wherever is possible, do it. Yathechasi tatha kuru. Whatever is possible, you do. Now, in that, he also mentioned pranayama dridhabhyasa was one thing. And then other one was asana ashana yoga. Gurudatta Yukti and all, we will not go there. But what is it? Asana ashana yoga. Asana ashana yogena iti yaduktam tatra asanasya lakshanam upayam phalancha tribis sutraihi patanjalihi sutrayamasa. Vasudevji, how much more minutes do we have?
Swamiji, now it is still 7:31. You have another 25 minutes.
Oh, there's not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I'll wind up in 15, 20 minutes. Try to. Asana ashana yogena yaduktam tatra asanasya lakshanam upayam phalancha tribis sutraihi patanjalihi sutrayamasa. Now, when it comes to the asana ashana yoga, about the asanas, Bhagavan Patanjali, in the 3 sutras only, he covers up the entire topic of asana practice. How many sutras? 3 sutras only. In these 3 sutras, what has he packed up? What are the contents? First of all, it is lakshanam. What is the definition of asana? Then upayam. What is the means through which it will be accomplished? And then 4th is phalam. What is the result when the asana is accomplished? Okay? These are the 3 topics of the 3 sutras concerning asana practice. Where are those? In the Yoga Sutras by Bhagavan Patanjali. Sthira Sukham Asanam. The first sutra is Sthira Sukham Asanam. Prayatna Shaithilya Ananta Samapattibhyam is the Dvitiya Sutra. Tritiya Sutra is Tato Dvandvanabhihataha iti. So in the first sutra he says Sthira Sukham Asanam. What is called as asanam? That there is stability and comfort is called as asana. Where there is stability and comfort, it is that asana. What is this stability and comfort and all you are saying? We are comfortable when we sit on the sofa and sink into it. Going. I really have found this is, I don't know how Americans are able to keep their backbone straight. Because anywhere you sit in there, whatever they have made, it's called as that, couches and sofa, everything is like, it is ready to swallow you inside. From everywhere it comes like that. Even their beds are also like that. The first time I went to America, I actually had to get down and sleep on the carpet. And the host thought I fell down. I said, no, I didn't fall down. Okay. So, Sthira Sukham, what is that? Padmaka Swastika Adina Yadrashena Deyasthapana Rupena यस्य पुरुषस्य अवयव व्यथा अनुत्पत्ति लक्षणं सुखं स्वदेह चलनराहित्य लक्षणं स्थैर्यं च संपद्यते तस्य तदेव सुखम asanam. That posture in which the body is, as the body is placed, okay, in swastikasana or siddhasana, etc. What happens over there? Avayava vyatha anutpatti lakshanam sukham. What is the sukham? That in any avayava, any part of the body, there is no vyatha, no pain anywhere. This is what is called as sukham. Sukham means what? Avayava vyatha anutpatti lakshanam sukham. Bas itna hi. This is what is sukham over there. Oh, sukham means that Paramatma and all. Oh, no, no, no. Don't do this with reference to context. Otherwise, that sukham means, yad vai bhuma tat sukham and all. Please, don't over philosophize. What is required over here, that is it. What is sukham over here? Avayava vyatha anutpatti lakshanam sukham. That's all. And then sukham swadeha chalanarahitya lakshanam sthairyam. What is sthairyam? That where the body is not moving. We sit where your hands are also able to stay in one place, legs are in one place. I told you, also, one of my friends from Australia, when we were studying together in the early student days, because these people are not able to used to sitting down, because, we grew up in Indian homes with Indian toilets, at least we were able, our knees were able to bend. Now they came, they did not know that, actually you have to sit, you can sit like that. His knees used to be like up. And now half an hour or whatever, 45 minutes meditation practice for him was, all the time he was only trying to push them down. And he would push them, they would come up. He would push them, it would come up. And this was his practice of meditation. So, the swadeha chalanarahitya lakshanam sthairyam sampadhyate. Tasya tadeva sukhamasanam. That is what is sukhamasanam. Okay? Tasya cha prayatna shaithilyam laukiko upaya. What is the upaya for the asanam? First of all, prayatna shaithilyam. Now, by that prayatna shaithilyam also, what is to be understood is this. And it is a laukika upaya. Another one is alaukika upaya. Okay, what is alaukika upaya? I will tell you, but we'll look at laukika upaya. And that is gamana grihakritya tirthayatra snana homadi vishaye yaprayatno manasa utsaha tasya shaithilyam kartavyam. First of all, you will have to give up that, your over enthusiasm, that in yatra, I want you to go there and there and there and there. Or doing this, gamana, grihakritya, oh, what will happen? I have to do that. This fellow can't sit for a moment. Swami, this is Vedanta is nice, but, I've got to do something. Then they justified, this is also, then do it as Paramatma Seva. Okay? If you can't sit, so you require prayatna shaithilya. Prayatna shaithilya becomes the laukiko upaya. As it is, my enthusiasm for, going in Tirtha Yatra and all was on a little low ebb. But it was totally eradicated by Tambe Swamiji in Kashi. He once said that he who has come to Kashi should not say that I have some other tirtha to do now. I have to go in some other shrine. He should not say that. Why? I said, why should he not say that? Because by that, you mean to say that what Kashi could not give, that what Vishwanath could not give, somebody else, or something else will be able to give. That what all your sins, if Ganga was not able to wash, something else will wash. That what Vishwanath cannot give, somebody else will be able to give. Even that mukti which Kashi can give, Kashi could not give, and that's why you had to go in somewhere else. So therefore, don't even say by your mouth that I have to, this kuch bach gaya hai, something is still, I have to go to that Tirth Yatra. Everything is done. Humne Vishwanath ka darshan. Now you can go if you want, but as paryatanam, paryatanam. But that even that also has to go. That is Laukika Upaya is there. That Prayatna Shaithilya should take place. Oh, but Swamiji, you are making us all disinterested in life. Oh no, we are talking about yogi, not about you, sir. Then. We are talking about he who wants to master yoga. Anyatha sa utsaho balad deham uthapya yatra kwapi prerayati. Otherwise, that person's, that utsaha, it will lift him from that place and throw him here and there. And so that's why, no. Alaukika upayascha. See, there is laukika upaya, alaukika upaya also. Now, in the laukika upaya, putra utpatti, etc., but population. But Raja Dashratha, he was an able-bodied man. He had very, dedicated and able-bodied women as his wives. But putra utpatti was not taking place. So he had to do the alaukika upaya, which was putra kameshti. Okay. So this upaya is what, that how can putra be come through some, throwing rice into the fire? It is alaukika upaya. What is it? And these alaukika upayas will be given to you only by the Vedas, not somebody else. And Pune, I met some people. We do yajna. What do? We burn loban. Then what will happen? Your house will be fumigated. Nothing else. Your house will be only fumigated. All mosquitoes will run out. Nothing more. It is an alaukika upaya, and that alaukika upaya also has to be given by the Veda. Nobody else. So over here, this Rishi is giving you this, and it is called as Ananta Samapatti. So what do you do over here is that you do a little meditation, like how you, before doing the Vishnu Sahasranam, you do Shantakaram, Bhujagashayam, Padmanabham, Suresham, Vishwadaram, and all that you do. Like that, you, for a minute, you have to contemplate that I am Sheshanag, Ananta. Ananta is the Sheshanag. What is his name? Ananta. Ananta Shesha. I am that Shesha. And what does this Sheshanaga do? He is the Shayya of Bhagavan Vishnu. So he on his hood, on his head, is balancing the Prithvi on the head and keeps it in place. The Prithvi is rolling. He keeps it steady. Then Ananta doesn't allow it to fall, or does not get bent because of the weight of the Prithvi, or he is keeping the Prithvi on the head. Just for a minute, then you have to think before you start your practice of asana or meditation, that I am this Ananta on my head, the Prithvi is kept. Just by doing this Ananta Samapatti and by Prayatna Shaithilya, asana will be accomplished. That means you will be able to sit in one place very comfortably without having any pain or any discomfort in any part of the body, as long as you want. That is called as asana. Asana siddhi. Okay. Siddhecha asane. When the asana becomes siddha, is accomplished, what will happen, sir? That we will be able to stay in Shirshasana for 40 minutes. Then what happens? So here it says, asane cha siddhe shitoshna sukha dukkha manapamanadi dvandvaihi yatha purvam na abhihanyate. Once when this asana becomes siddha, it is the effect of asana siddhi. Just that your stability of your body, what does it do? That one is not knocked badly by these or affected badly by these dualities, by these poles of opposites. Okay? Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, Manapamanadi, Dvandvaihi, Yatha Purvam. First of previously you used to be, like football, hit from here to there, and mana, apman, and all these things, and Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, one was like a football in the ground. But now it may come and it will go, but you will not be rolling like that, getting knocked by that as badly. And as much as this asana becomes stable, till then, to that extent, what happens? Now, even when in that asana, this Shitoshna, etc., will not have any effect. So, thus, these are the three sutras in which asana, ashana yoga is given. And then what is called as ashana yoga? Ashana yoga means mitaharatvam, atyaharam, anaharam, nityam yogi vivarjayet. Now this Amrita Bindu Upanishad says that a yogi should avoid atyahara, overeating, or even not eating. And then these people become anemic and they think that this is yoga. No. Atyaharam, anaharam, nityam yogi vivarjayet. Mitaharam, it is measured and taken. And that's why jitasanasya pranayamena manovinasha shvetashvetaihi shvetaraihi amnayate. So this, even the Shvetashvatar Upanishad now finally gives that mohar. Mohar means the stand. What is it? Puts a chop on it. What is it? That it is he who has mastered the pranayama. For him, and asana, ashana, pranayama, etc. For him, the mind also becomes disciplined and he is able to master it. So this, in short, there are a lot of more aspects to this whole topic. But I think as an introduction to us, to begin somewhere, this should be good enough. That there are these four upayas. And then Gaudapada Acharya is that shloka. Please remember, Manaso Nigrahayatam Abhayam Sarvayoginam Dukkhakshaya Prabodhascha Apyakshaya Shantirevacha. So it is from the Manonigraha for the yogi. What does that yogi get? Abhayam, Dukkhakshayam, Prabodhaha, enlightenment, and also Akshaya Shanti. And therefore, Manonigraha is important. And these are the various upayas, not Hatha Yoga, but Krama Yoga. Yuktitaha. We should go about it. So this is what is the whole topic as an introduction. I think this is good enough for now.